Okay, thank you and welcome to Module 2 of our intermediate training. We are going to cover basic convenience and annotation features. And what I'm referring to is the Snapshot Tool, adding annotations, adding pictures, and a little bit about customizing the displays. In Module 1, we talked about the charts and the chart properties, adding charts, taking away charts. Again, for the most part, that was Dran-View Enterprise features that we talked about. So what we're going to focus on how to do a little bit of customization for the charts. We're going to show you how to annotate your charts, how to add text, how to add images, and little balloon help or little balloon messages within the chart. So let's talk about just basic stuff. We spoke about this on our basic training, but there are two powerful features within Dran-View. One is right-clicking and the other is double-clicking. And just like in any package or any software, when you right-click over anything, you get these nice little tools. And these tools are sensitive to not only what pane you're in, but also the type of chart or area of the display that you are right-clicking over. So I right-clicked over a time plot. So it gives me things that are available within there. I can insert different things like a text box, pictures. So things that we spoke about before under the Insert tab on the ribbon bar, some of those, where appropriate, will show up when you right-click. Okay, and you can see a lot of them on the ribbon bar are available as well. So before, when we inserted charts, we could have just right-clicked and inserted the charts through there as well. All right. The nice thing about going to the ribbon bar, by the way, is that when you hover over it, gives you help on each one. So when you go and select an item and hover over it, if available, a little balloon help will show up. So again, right-click, you can change the properties. I can change the channels, the appearance. These are all things that we spoke about during our basic training. But what we did not really cover is that anything in here is individually configurable. So whether I'm looking at the timeline or the history pane, or I go over to the right and I look at the event details pane, when I double click over anything or I right click and select its properties, I can change its name. I can change the font of the text. I can do a whole bunch of stuff like that. So as an example, I'm going to double click over here under the event details, and you can see it has the default text as event details. So I'm going to just call this test data, just for lack of anything better, and just say okay. Now you can see it's test data. If I want to change the legend here on channel A, I have the ability to right click and change the properties and change anything that I want about that. I just put in gobbledygook there, and you can see I have now changed it to were, which is again just me typing on my keyboard. So you have the ability, between double clicking on stuff and right clicking and selecting properties, you can change the what is displayed here. So let me just change this back to channel A, and you can see I've updated that. Okay, so again, going back to our test data here, I can right click, select properties, or I can double click on it. The same thing's going to happen. I can edit the text. I can center justify it. I can left justify it. I can right justify it. I can change the font. So once I click the font button, I have the usual font style, the font type, the size, bolding, different things, strikeout. So these are the things that you'll find in Word and other word processing capabilities. Pretty standard stuff. I have the ability to insert functions, and of course I can just delete this all as well. So again, you can customize that to any name that you want. So you can go around Dran-View and you can change basically anything that you'd like to see. A nice capability is that when I have multiple things displayed on one chart, I can right click and I can split them off into individual charts. So in this particular chart, for whatever reason, we have channel B voltage and channel C voltage. If I right click on the legend on the left, I say split. Well, now they become individual charts. So nice features to have. A lot of people haven't really discovered them. I'll be honest with you, as presenters, sometimes we're learning new capabilities of Dran-View as we go and research for our presentations here. So again, right click, properties, the same thing. I can go change, I can change my scale here to a linear, to a logarithmic scale. I have the ability to, again, stack and overlay, change the appearance. I can change how things are scaled on the display. Okay, I can also change the font. So you have pretty much full control of every axis or the legend and the description of everything that you show here. Again, right click on something, and if I go over here, you'll get the options that you have available to you, or just simply double click and the properties of that object will show up. So again, little hints on how to use Dran-View. So we talked about that. We talked about editing the contents of this. So like as an example, you might want to call this my SAG directivity survey, which is the example that we have here. So everything winds up on Dran-View. So when you print it, you have that information. When you go run the report writer, you also have that information in there. So when I save this file, or if I save this file, all of this is captured to the Dran-View 7 file that is now saved. All right. So just as a summary, I import data, or I read in data from the instrument. It's come from an HTTPQ, a PX5, or Dran expert, that then I can save it as a Dran-View format. Once I've done that, everything that you've configured here within Dran-View is saved with that file. In addition to that, you can also create templates of what you see. So you can see right here, when I have adjusted Dran-View and added charts in a particular configuration, I can save that off in a template. So it's there for my future use. Now, some other pretty much cool capabilities are some of the other annotation features. So in our last module, we spoke about charts, tables, and phasers. You have the text annotation. So if I just simply click that, again, my active pane is my timeline pane. So if I click text, I have a text box here. I can drag that text box and put it wherever I want. So if I simply right click and select properties or double click, I can change the contents of that text box. And maybe this is my survey. Click OK. I can change the colors and everything. And now this is my survey is at the bottom. So if you have a general annotation about anything that you see, or this entire chart area, you can add that to the screen. I can add an image. So let's say over here on the right, I had a power quality event. I had an instantaneous sag. And actually, let me do this just for 1 second. Let me customize. Actually, I think we're okay with what we see. So when I go to any particular picture, it can be on the left, it can be on the right, your choice. And maybe I want to insert an image, and that image could be maybe a picture from the survey or the troubleshooting, the breaker that blew, some damage that was done, or something that describes your survey. That choice is yours. I go image. And now basically I can browse my computer and I can put in any image that I have on my computer here. So we're going to do the guy who took the survey over here. And that's my dog Jameson. So we'll just use him as an example, just to break it up a little bit here. He does a better job than I do in a lot of this stuff. So anyway, point being, you can add anything that you want. You can take away anything that you want. So I can delete this now, and that's gone. I could reproportion it. I can put that on the right if I prefer to do this. So if I add an image, I can add an HTTPQ over here. And this is showing maybe I use an HTTPQ for this survey. So again, you guys get the picture literally, and you can put your images any place that you want. Another nice feature of Dran-View is the ability to add kind of bubble help, for lack of a better word. So one thing that we haven't discussed yet, you can individually select any point that you want on a waveform and select that waveform. So just arbitrarily on channel C voltage, I'm going to select this waveform here. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say insert data annotation. So you could see the default text for my data annotation is basically the time of that event. It's overwritten over here. Hang on, let me grab that back. Oops. Let's do another one here. Got hidden behind there. I got too much stuff on the screen here. Insert data annotation. Now it gives you the values and the details of that particular point in time, but I can simply right click and click properties or double click on it. And I could say maybe this is where the problem happened. Click OK. And now this is in your box. I can move this box anywhere I want. So maybe this could be an annotation that describes this is where the breaker tripped. This is where the power quality event happened. This is where the motor started. Something that would help you describe to yourself, your customers, your management on basically what type of event or the impact of the event, anything that you want to write in there. So you can put that anywhere on any graph that you see within Dran-View. So it's a nice, real powerful feature. When you save this file as a Dran-View 7 format, all of this stuff retains in there. Okay, very powerful feature. So the last item that we're going to speak about on the convenience and annotation features is one of the most powerful ones that is really not used as much, and it's the snapshot feature. So we should probably rename snapshot to bookmark, because that's really in browser terms, that's what it means. But technically it is taking a snapshot of what's on the screen. So what the snapshot feature does, it takes a snapshot of your zoom level, your pan level, whatever you have on the screen here. It puts it on a list of snapshots, and then you can randomly go back to that particular zoom level. So it's best described if I show you an example. So we've got whatever I have set up here on the right. I'm going to select snapshot. You see it says new. I click it. Now my event pane all of a sudden has a little snapshot image here. So let's say arbitrarily I just click to the left here on my timeline, and I'm going to just randomly zoom into stuff here. So I'm going to click snapshot again. You can see that now appears. All right. And then it's just a little thumbnail of what you see. And I'm going to do that a third time. I'm going to go zoom in a little bit more. Oops, pick up the zoom tool, go zoom in. And you know what? I'm going to change the properties here just to mix it up a little bit. We'll show a little bit different information, just voltage channel A, just to kind of make it a little more viewable. Snapshot. And you can see I build this list of snapshots on the left. And if you notice that you've got different tabs on the bottoms here. So I click the event tab, I have the event list. When I've created snapshots, well, now I have the snapshots as well. You have the option for markers. The markers are like the Delta tool and things where you can show a list of the markers that you have. So for the snapshots, if I want to go back to my original view, I just double click it. You can see now I have that exact view. I want to go back to my last timeline view. I double click that. And you can see now I have my timeline view. So these are in effect bookmarks. You can find information within your survey. Then you can take the snapshot of them. So now you have random access to go view them again sometime in the future. Because just like browsing the internet, you find a website, then all of a sudden you link off that website. It's tough to go back to that. So same thing within Dran-View. When you're doing troubleshooting and analysis, you find something of interest, then you move on to something else. This gives you the ability to go back exactly to where that particular zoom level or that data was.